Hi everybody, Jessie here from jessiebanks.com, and I'm back with another Copic coloring video. This time I'm using Stamping Bella's Haley the Hero. She's a tiny towny stamp, and I'm coloring her with Copic markers. I stamped her using Memento Tuxedo Black ink onto Copic Express It blending card. Again, that's my personal favorite card for blending, or my favorite card for using my Copic markers. Definitely use whatever card you're most comfortable with. This is the one I started with, so it's the one I learned on, and I just tend to stick to it. It's my personal preference. I did get this image from Quick Creations. The link to it will be in the description box below, as well as a link to my blog and all of that good stuff, as per usual. So I'm starting with E04, and I'm just going in and putting in the darkest highlights. I've only sped this one up 2.5 times the original coloring speed, or 2.5 times its original speed, so it's a little bit slower, and you can kind of see as I'm going along how I'm debating on where I want to put my shadows and my darkest points there. So adding a little bit just in and around her mask to give it a little more dimension, like it's in front of her, sitting in front of her face like a mask. And then I'm going in with E13, and I'm just going to deepen up, or not deepen up, I'm just going to start blending out those shadows. Back to E04 because I forgot her neck there. And then I'm probably going to forget it again, because that tends to be the way I roll. If I forget a piece on an image, it's almost impossible for me to remember it. Oh, I did. There's lots of times where I'll forget a piece and I'll go in and do like that and add the darkest color, and then I'll go through everything, and at the end I'll look at it and I'll be like, still forgot to finish coloring that piece. So this is just my typical skin tone color. You guys have seen it probably in every single video I've ever put up. And like I always say, I'm just going completely over top of all of those darker colors and slowly blending them out. What I'm trying to do is not get lines or my colors transition from darker to lighter. I just want them to smoothly blend that way as best as I can do it. It's a little bit more difficult in these tiny areas like the arms and things like that, but I still get a fairly decent blend. So E50 will be my last color for our skin tone. And then I'll go and start on my yellow. And when I do my yellows, I tend to use this YR24 as my darkest color. It's more of a brownie orange, brownie orange, really warm gold-ish type color. And I think it just deepens up my yellows nice and gives me better shadows. Personal preference. It's a combination I love. I use it all the time. So we're just going in and putting in those darkest points. Working my way down her stockings. So I go down one leg and then I come up the other, because what I'm doing is, you can see on the first leg my yellow stopped on the one just before her toes. So when I come up the second leg, I'm doing the same thing. I'm skipping the ones that are at the stripe for her toes, and I'm going up one. That way I know that they match even if they don't line up at the top, because the stripes aren't always the same on both legs or arms or whatever you're coloring. So Y17 is our second color. I do really like the way she turned out. I picked these colors because I used the Echo Park Magical Adventures, the Dots and Stripes paper pad to put her on. So I just went with some very basic yellows and blues for the most part for her outfit. So as I'm deepening this up, I'm making sure I'm leaving room in those larger areas for my brightest highlight, which in this case will be the Y11. Her legs are already covered with the YR or with the Y13, but that's fine. Now I'm coming into her cape and I'm starting with a B29 here. And I'm just putting in the darkest points. I'm going to kind of start deciding where the folds in her cape are going to be for sure. And just go through and map it all out with this color here. So I'm following a lot of the artist drawn lines. They have given us some lines in her cape that I'm just starting from before I pull up to put a fold or a pleat or like a curve, a bend in the fabric type of a deal here. Not the piece between her that you see between her legs here. As I'm going through and doing this, I'm trying to make sure that none of these pleats end up in a really obnoxious place. Like I don't know. I'm just like, all right, Jessie, let's not like make a bunch of stripes look like they're coming out from her bum. So just carrying on and we'll finish this up and I'll move on to the lighter color here. Sorry, but that was kind of, I remember that thought process very vividly and I'm not sure why, but I was like, so let's make sure we don't do this. Looking really crazy. I'm going to do her belt blue and her mask blue as well. So B18 is my next color and now I'm just going through and I'm going to start working at, do you have to eat so loud, kitty cat? Sorry about that. I'm working on blending out these colors. Working from that B29 and just slowly letting it come out a little further. I'm really happy with the way her cape turned out in the end. Alright, kitty cat. I don't know if the mic's even picking that up, but if it is, it's him, not me. So now I'm coming in with B16 and I'm just carrying on slowly blending everything out. It takes a long time because I'm going through such a big area and I wanted to get a lot of dimensions, so I'm not taking that color very far every time I switch colors. It's just coming out slightly further than the last one. So working our way through. And just take your time and go at it slowly if you tackle this image. Like that cape can definitely be broken up into a bunch of different parts. Don't have to do it all in one shot. Like I've said before, I find that if I make sure my marker stays wet, it blends a little easier. Like wet on the paper, I mean, not wet as in the marker itself. B05, I think, is my next color there. B04. And now it's getting a little faster to go through and add these colors in. 02. I think this will be my last color. Oh, pardon me. So now I'm coming through and I'm going to do the stripes on her leg and I'm going to do all of the lace, the frilly details like around her cape and on the sides of her bodysuit there, and her hair will all be black. So I'm just starting with my 110 marker here, which is a special black marker. Why? Because it's the one I grabbed out of my marker pile. Oh, my coffee's ready. So what happened there was I started putting my shadows on the wrong side on the other leg. And it's like, I really don't want to have to color this entire image all over again. So I just kind of put them on both sides of the leg for the black. So that I didn't have to do it all over again. So W9 is my next color, and we're just going to work at blending out that black. And I start the hair with that color. So my hair, I'm doing this time, I'm going black, dark to light. And that's just because I was going dark to light to blend out the rest. So I did it that way. I didn't even think about it. I usually work backwards on my hair and go light to dark instead of dark to light. But I had the marker in my hand, so I just carried on. So W7 will be our next marker here. And I'm just going to go through and finish doing the hair and the body here, and then we have to do that flower yet, and I can't remember what color I colored that flower off the top of my head. So when I'm doing hair this way, I do make sure that I am not going all the way back to the roots, because I do want that dark to stay dark. I don't want it to all blend out and turn into a gray color. I do still want it to look like it's black hair, of course. So W3 is my lightest color. A little bit of it in the hair. I did sneak a little W1 in there. Must have thought it needed a little bit more. And then the flower, I'm going in with R89. R08. And that's probably R04. I just forgot to put the cap down. So then I'm just going to do the grounding here with my E70 range, and that'll be it for this image. I'll insert a picture of the finished card here. Again, all the links will be in the description box below. And thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Bye for now.